So for sales tax, if you're in the store and you are trying to buy something and you need to know what the sales tax is, it's handy to be able to figure that out by yourself. So we can calculate or estimate the total cost of an item, including its sales tax. And so use any method that makes sense to you, and then we'll check and try to see how many methods we can come up with. So if I have the cost of the item is $400, and I want to apply a 7.322% sales tax, the first thing I need to do is find the amount of tax. And to do that, I will convert 7.322 into a decimal. It is a percent, and we always need to convert to a decimal to use it in our formulas. So 0.07322. I moved my decimal 2 places left, just like we did in the previous table, to convert from a percent into a decimal. And I just fill in 1 0 there. Now I have a decimal version of my percent, and I want 7.322% of 400, and that of tells me that I should multiply by the 400. So I'm just typing that on my calculator, 0.07322 times 400 equals, and I get 29.288. Now, I know when I go to the store, they don't charge me past the number of cents that I purchase, so I will need to round this to the number of cents, and that will, because my next digit is an 8, that's 5 or greater, so I will need to bump up the 8 that my arrow was pointing to, and so the amount of the tax will be $29.29. And that's an exact figure. Then to find my total bill, since I know the amount of tax and I know the amount of my purchase, I can just add those two together. So I'm going to do 400 plus 29.29. Remember, when you add, you line up your decimals, and I get $429.29. So I'll have $429.29. Now that should match what I get on my register receipt, and that's handy to know how to calculate it exactly, but I also want you to think about how can you calculate using mental methods. So we'd like you to try some mental methods too. So for this one, I want to show a mental method. So I'm looking at my sales tax, and it's 7.68, and so I'm thinking, wow, that's really close to 8. So if I just do some rounding and very general rounding, I could convert that to 8%. And that's making an estimate of my sales tax rate. And then when I take 8% and convert it to a decimal, it's going to be 0.08. Well, the cost of my purchase is $100, so I need to do 100 times 0.08 to come up with the amount of tax. And when I multiply something by 100, remember, we're just moving those decimals back over. So my tax would be $8, and I haven't had to touch my calculator yet. So now I know my tax is $8, my cost of purchase is 100, so $108 is my estimated total bill. Now, if I'm in the store as a customer and I'm trying to buy something and I'm looking in my pocket to see if I have enough cash, an estimate is good enough. I know if I have $108 in my pocket, I have enough for the purchase I want. So first thing we did here was estimate, which in this case meant round the tax rate to 8%, because that was really handy and it made it very easy for us to get a close estimate. So I did that, and then I went ahead and used the same procedure as on the last problem.